Hello, everybody. Welcome back, folks, to the King Caleb podcast. How you doing? How's your fucking mother, right? Tell the Caleb, Caleb, girls want to call me. I don't know, but we're here live in the room, closet area, just to get away from the fan that I got blaring in my room because it's humid as shit. We had a fucking tornado storm, thunderstorm shit, so the humidity is like 90%. I just checked my phone. But we're here for a new series. New series alert on the King Caleb podcast, always evolving after 5 years of doing this shit. But yeah, man, we're doing. I'm gonna do this weekly now. I'm gonna get on playoffpredictors.com is where you can do this. I'm live on my iPhone, by the way, if you haven't noticed. I'm screen recording it and talking via my mic as always. And I'm just gonna every week of the NFL season, a couple days before the games are actually being played, I'm gonna predict every game, give you the rundown, quick little here and there's, whatchamacallits, who that's, do wop do wops, all that nonsense, all that dumb shit that you hear on the other any other type of sports talk, you know, radio or video show, whatever the fuck. Now, I planned on doing a whole series, or not series, but a season rundown like last year when I gave everyone rankings predictions, or not rankings, but their record, which you can do on this app, or website, I rather say. You can do on this website where you predict every game and then the record, goes that way and it'll show you the tiebreakers so you'll know who will be in the playoffs. But I did about 27 takes of that shit the past couple weeks, and this fucking website crashes every time I try to open a new window and like look at the rosters while I'm midway talking. And then like I try to go back to this website and then it clears everything that I did beforehand, so that it ruins that. And then I was just looking at the old recordings. I wasn't even like halfway done, maybe even, and I'm talking for like 46 minutes. So it's like, do I really want to do a 2 hour podcast of talking about this shit and have the 2.5 people who listen have to bear through 2 hours of my dumbass spewing words out of my mouth? So it's gonna be easier, quicker, and more shit for me to do throughout the year, since I clearly need such distractions from the nonsense, the Pope, anything else that might be interfering with the enjoyment of my life. So this is what we're gonna do here. First game Thursday night. I'm pumped for this one. I'm definitely going to be hiding at work watching this, at least the first half. Chiefs Texans. It's going to be a very entertaining matchup, I think, regardless of the score. Um, Last year, they played twice. Both were in Kansas City, so they're back in KC now. The Texans actually won the first matchup in the regular season. Deshaun went off as he does usually, but and then obviously the playoff game, they're up 24-0, and then Texans just come back in 2 seconds and completely shit on them. It's whenever Mahomes and Watson meet up, it's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a fun rivalry to see. Deshaun, Lamar, and Patrick, for the next 10 years, they're going to run the AFC. So whenever any of the three of them play each other, it's going to be a fun matchup to see. But I mean, come on. We got the Chiefs. I'm not as down on the Texans as everyone else is in the spectrum of the world. I've in the past 28, like I said, predictions. I have the Texans going to the playoffs, whether that's winning the division straight up or being one of the wild card teams. So I would not be surprised. But for this game, the Chiefs just have their number. They're too, their firepower. It's too deadly. The Texans secondary, I don't think, is still. I don't think they know what they're doing. They got a Reed at safety. Maybe the best out of the bunch, and then you got my Ohio State boys, Conley and Roby there at corner, which are both competent starters, but they can be beat. You've seen it happen a lot. That's why they've been let go of their teams, whether that or contract disputes or character, issues, I guess, with Gruden. If he didn't draft you, he's more than likely gonna get rid of you. So this is, it happened to Cooper. It happened to Mac. It's probably gonna happen to Carr. I'm surprised he's still there to begin with. So they're getting a mass exodus of Raider people. But For this game, I think it's gonna be very entertaining, but I got the Chiefs winning this one. Okay, we got Bills at Jets. I'm or Jets at Bills. I'm just gonna say the Bills right now. There's no reason why the Bills shouldn't win the division this year. They have a great all around team, getting digs. The defense is solid. They're only going to improve with people like Ed Oliver, young talent that they got over there. The Jets, they just don't have enough weapons for me. The defense, the Bills, I think is going to lock them down. Uh, yeah, this could be. I think it'll be like a 20-ish to like 10 game. It's going to be boring because whenever the Jets and Bills play each other, it's always defensively and it's always boring. But the Jets no longer have a good defense, but they're gonna compete. It's the NFL. I don't think they're just gonna get ramsacked the first game against a rival. But I got the Bills winning this one. All right, Colts Jaguars. I got the Colts, man. The Jaguars aren't trying to win. Clearly, they're trading everyone and their mother, and the mailman and the guy who colors in the numbers on the field. It's just it's hilarious. The cons are clearly more focused on AEW than the team itself. Um, and after watching the highlights of that mediocre pay-per-view, they need to step their game up, or I'll be talking to Cody personally. But nevertheless, I have Philip Rivers and his noodle arm self. I also have the Colts contending for the playoffs this year, so this will be one of the games to help them, motivate them, and steer them in the right path. All right, Buckner and Xavier Rhodes on defense brought them to win to improve the defense, so I think it's going to be... This game could get ugly. Dolphins, Patriots, Graham Newton, and a bunch of unknowns because COVID. They still have a solid defense. Fitzpatrick is starting for the first couple of weeks for the Dolphins, so you don't know. It's going to be... I think it's going to be a competitive game, but it's in... Well, I don't even think that matters, but I feel like these two are going to split games, but I got the Patriots for right now. They're more their nucleus has been with each other longer than the Dolphins so far. I think the Dolphins are going to be a competitive team all year. I don't think that'll translate to too many wins, but yeah, we'll get Cam and those boys, the evil empire over there in Foxborough over there, hey, over there, Tony over there. I don't know if that was a Boston accent or not. It always blends back into my New York Italian accent, but yeah, okay. Baltimore and Cleveland. This should be an interesting game. See what the Cleveland offense is looking like, and then Baltimore, who's had a great regular season, knocked out in the first round, but they got Calais Campbell to stop that uphill running game that derailed them last year with Derrick Henry, and hell, even last year against the Browns, Chubb went off on them too. Had very big explosive runs up the gut. But in this one, I got the Ravens, man. They just got too much talent, and I think Baker and Stefanski are gonna. It's gonna take a couple of weeks for them to really work and gel in that offense. But these are both two playoff caliber teams I have in contention. All right, we got the Cincinnati Burros and the LA Chargers. The Chargers could either contend or they could completely poop the bed, man. Derwin James is probably out for most of the year. Mike Williams, we don't know if he's gonna be back. Bengals are improving, but they still have holes. That's why I got the Chargers going into Cincinnati with a W. All right, this is the late night Monday night game. This is at 10:30. If this is AFC versus AFC, if you see up there, and then it'll be AFC versus NFC, and then NFC. So this isn't in order of like the time. This is just how this website does it. This is gonna be a very good game. I feel like it's gonna be close. Either team I can see win it. But again, for right now, the nucleus, hopefully the hype and the momentum from last year will succeed and continue with the Titans. I got them in a very close game, maybe even a field goal game. I'm very excited to see what Drew Lock does, but with the addition of Clowney to that Titans defense, I think it might take a while for the young Denver offense to really get shit going against a very good and stout defense in Tennessee. And I got Tannehill and Henry controlling that game. I feel like the Texans are going to sneak by with a win. Okay, next we got Las Vegas. First ever game for Las Vegas, but they go to Carolina to face my boy Teddy Bridgewater and those Carolina Panthers. This is going to be another competitive game. Two under the radar teams who might sneak into the playoffs. I know not everyone's so high on the Panthers. I had them winning like 6 games in all of my predictions and whatnots. Uh, Vegas, if Colin Gruden can somewhat be consistent this whole year, I think it could go. But I just think for right now, Vegas is the better team for right now, right at this moment, and that is the only reason why I'm picking the Raiders to win this game. Okay, we got my Steelers and the New York Football Giants. Now the Giants, what did they get in the first round? Andrew Thomas, so a solid, consistent left tackle out of the Georgia Bulldog University, the Georgia establishment. Yes. Oh, excuse me, got that Rona. We can hope and pray that Ben is somewhat of a decent quarterback. We got good weapons with all of our young receivers. We can this is do or die time for Juju for me this year if he's the number one or not. Because if not, I feel like Deontay Johnson has all the talent to step in and be that number one. Now Juju's a great number two. We've already seen it. So even if he did deduct down there, I wouldn't be mad. But he wouldn't. He shouldn't expect a high pay raise after this year because this is his last year on his rookie deal. TJ Watt, though, will be getting the bank. Excuse me again. I have that. I had that big box. I don't know if you guys seen it. Not football related. I got a big box of variety hot chips. I've been eating like a thought, loving my life. But I got my Steelers. We're a better team for right now. I would not be surprised if we lost to the Giants because we love to play down to our competition. All right, we got a good one in ATL. The Falcons and the Seahawks, two, again, for me, playoff-worthy teams. I know the defense in Seattle is kind of shaky, but they got Jamal Adams, so that should it definitely improve. You can line him up anywhere, even where you might have holes at linebacker and at safety. You could put him in the box. You could put him out there back to cover. He's good enough to cover man-to-man. Not all the time, of course, but sure tackler. Atlanta, if they all stay healthy, this could be a good team this year. I got Seattle though winning this with Wilson and them boys. Of course, Gurley. It's gonna be exciting to see what he does down there. Hopefully, he rejuvenates his career because he's only 25, guys. People are acting. I know he's been in the league for a while now because he left Georgia at a young age, but he's only 25. He's not 35. He's not Adrian Peterson age. I know he's had injury histories, and that's what deteriorates a running back in their career. But I don't see him being too terrible this year, not at all. Okay, we got Philly and Washington. Philly, I feel like, is going to be on a good run this year if everyone stays healthy, which is a theme for a lot of these teams. Texans as well. I forgot to talk about them in their receiving core, which I don't. Stills, Cooks, Fuller, and Cobb, if they're all healthy, which I know is one of the more improbable things to occur in this league, that is a great receiving core, one of the best in the league, if not the best. But I got. Yeah, that same for Philly though. Rager's already hurt. Jeffrey's hurt, so I think it's going to be Deshaun Jackson, Greg Ward, or Siga Whiteside, and Gobbert and Ertz at tight end for these next couple of games. So Washington is just too discombobulated right now. Their offense is just Haskins, Stone, and McLaurin now. With Geis being released because of we don't even have to go into what he did. And then Peterson getting cut. It's going to be a lot of Antonio Gibson, I feel like, the rookie out of Memphis, as well as Bryce Love out of Stanford, who I hope both of them play good. I picked up Antonio Gibson in my fantasy league. I've been hearing all the people, fantasy footballers, hyping on him up so hopefully he'll get some points for me. But I don't see them winning many games this year, and I see Philly winning the division. So I got Philly. I don't think it'll be a blowout. Washington plays their rivals pretty tough, at least the Eagles the past couple of years. So I got Philly. Okay, we got Detroit now hosting the Chicago Bears. Trubisky starting for what reason we don't know. Nick Foles must have not have learned the playbook quick enough via Zoom, but Foles will definitely be seeing time this year. I don't see Trubisky lighting it up any of these weeks. Detroit, the defense is iffy, but I got Stafford, and they got too many weapons. Now, Chicago's defense, great. They're going to keep them in this game, but I got Detroit. Detroit is one of my sleeper teams for this year, folks. I can see them competing for a playoff spot, a wildcard spot. I don't trust Patricia enough as a coach, though, to lead a team to the playoffs personally. But I feel like if Stafford stays healthy, just like last year, they're going to be a good, competitive team against anyone. Another great matchup here, Minnesota Green Bay. I think this is a 1 o'clock game as well. It's going to be on Fox. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, great rivalry, of course, in the Midwest. Chicago picking up Ngakwe from the Jaguars is huge for me to replace Everson Griffin, and I think at this point he might be a better player in this stage in the career. At least he's more younger, and you got more years left with him than you did with Griffin. I see these two splitting games, so we'll just give Minnesota the win just because they're home, even though it doesn't matter because there's probably not going to be any fans there. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, the Packers defense is good. They just have holes here and there that I don't. They might not make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. They need to shore up on some things. That's let's just say that. San Fran, Arizona. San Fran coming off a devastating loss in the Super Bowl, but they still have talent everywhere, man. They're pretty solid, even on the receiving core. I think Brandon Ayuk, the rookie at Arizona State, is hurt recently, and we know Samuel's going to miss a couple of games, so they're just going to run, pound the ball. I don't think Arizona is there yet defensively to compete with the elite teams, but their offense is definitely capable of beating a San Fran team because they both games Kyler Murray did some good things, and he didn't even throw a pick. It was more of him being sacked a lot was the only reason why he couldn't pull off a win there, especially that Thursday night game in San Fran, ironically. But for right now, early in the season, the nucleus of San Fran is already established. I got San Fran winning this game. Closer than the experts think, though. We got the matchup of the week, probably. We got Tom Brady. We got the retirement bowl. We got Tom Brady and Drew Brees, first to throw the ball more than 30 yards wins. Yeah, this is going to be... Brady can still throw it that deep, I believe. Breeze, not so much. You got to bring in Taysom Hill, who's not even really a quarterback. And but again, the nucleus... it's going to be weird to see Tampa Bay with all these new assets with Gronk and Brady and Fournette and, who else did they add? All the rookies they added. Antoine Winfield Jr. at safety. If he's not starting week 1, he should, because I checked their secondary when I was doing the predictions, and it was looking mighty light. But I got New Orleans again. The nucleus there. They're already established. Their Zoom meeting. They already know what's going on. Brady and them, they haven't had a real life game yet. Can even play preseason, so it's going to take up some time. These are both playoff teams though in my eyes this year. I got New Orleans in a close one and a good one. And to end this off in the Sunday night game, we got LA and Dallas. Rams trying to regroup from a I guess disappointing 9-7 year last year. The defense has holes in it, of course. But you got Ramsey, you got Arnold, you got two of the top 10 defensive players on the team, on the same team. So it's a close game. I think Dallas has just too much firepower for right now for this Rams team to stop. I got Dallas in a good game. I think a lot of these games, maybe I'm just blinded by football's finally back. I feel like a lot of these games are going to be good and competitive, maybe slow and boring at the beginning because that's usually how NFL is week 1. But once these teams establish themselves, I think good things are going to happen. So these are my standings for week 1 that I have predicted. Yeah, you can stop and pause there. Football's back, boys. This is what we've been dreaming for. Hopefully more colleges can keep playing this weekend. ACC is starting some games. Unfortunately, Oklahoma State, I see postponed their game because of probably Corona or something. Big Ten can get their act together and have some shit going. But this has been King Kaleb here. As always, like, subscribe, share, tweet. Farmers Only Black People meet, folks. _King Kaleb on Twitter. I don't post anything. King Kaleb Dugout on Instagram. Your bitch already follows me. This has been King Kaleb signing the fuck out.